It didn't feel right. Ball kept hitting the net. It was loud. You hear all these different voices and everything. I'm like, oh my gosh, can we go back outside? So I thought we needed to get back outside, which was good. I think, again, I kind of like that. Sometimes when things are not going as well, and it wasn't a practice, just, us being inside and then having to switch and all of a sudden refocus and go do it again, because that's the way football is sometimes. Sometimes it's just not there, and you got to go find it. And our guys, it was muddy and water puddles and wet balls and the whole 9 yards. So I kind of like it like that when it's hard, because football is hard.
Well, it happens to be a bad forecast for Friday in Green Bay.
That's
Storm-wise, it's good
it's going to lightning again. Wow. It could be. Well, we're going to have to deal with the elements. And, I keep telling our team, we'll play anywhere. That's just the way it is. Lightning, mud, rain, snow. That's the kind of team we have to be. We can't worry about the elements. Every other team has to deal with it too. So we got to find a way to deal with it and make the most of it and win when we're in those situations.
Is he going to be okay? And combined with that, what about the, like Hawk and Coleman and them? Have you?
Yeah, well, Hawk definitely won't play, and Corey won't play either. Again, those guys, we're going to make sure that they're exactly where they need to be. I think Terrell will be fine. Again, he was practicing, and I made a decision to take him out. He wanted to stay out there, and again, my job is to make sure that our players are okay. But I think he'll be fine. But again, until the doctors tell me so, will I really know? But again, we're going to put a team out there that's going to go out there and play hard and execute our offense and defense and special teams, and that's what we're looking to do.
Did you see Terrell laboring? I mean, why did you say?
Yeah, because he was laboring a little bit. And I just, again, I can tell, he's willing to fight through it because, again, the guys want to have those opportunities that they're getting. But at the same time, I have to be smart enough to tell a guy, hey, we need to back you down.
Is there any significance to Austin Davis seemingly getting more reps today than Kessler?
No, not really. I mean, again, I haven't really made a decision how we'll play those guys, but they'll play. Again, I think everything's earned. I'm not giving anybody anything, whether it's Cody or Austin. It's through practice. And I know maybe you see a little switch there, but that doesn't signal anything at all.
If the weather does get bad, will you perhaps cut the time of some of the projected starters in the game?
No, the elements have nothing to do with that. Whatever decision we make will be based on the feeling of how long we want guys to play. It won't be because of the weather.
Have you solidified how long you're going to play the ones Friday?
I'm sorry?
Have you solidified how long you're going to play the ones?
No, we just have practice today, and I've been running from the Lightning, so I hadn't thought about that one yet.
Maybe it's my imagination, but I seem to see Isaiah Crowell drop a pass every day. I'm wondering, do you acknowledge that? And that part of his game, does that need to be better?
Absolutely. I mean, yeah. I mean, anybody who's dropping a pass, Isaiah and receivers, tight ends, anybody, we need to get that better. Our goal is to keep the ball off the ground and catch every ball that's thrown and be very accurate with the ball. So, again, I hope that it's the elements. We got to learn how to catch a wet ball and how to throw a wet ball, because that's just part of it too, and that's something that I have to make sure that as a team that we take care of. But again, we don't want to drop any balls, and all of our players need to continue to get better catching the ball.
Nick Hagan was with the Bengals in 2012 in training camp when you were there. Do you remember anything about him?
Yeah, I do. I remember he was a fierce competitor. He liked to play the game. He was tough. He worked hard, and he was one of our final cuts. So I kind of knew who he was when he came and worked out. So I kind of had a memory of what he did when he was there. So again, the guy's he's worked extremely hard, and I think football is very important to him.
And so then are you seeing that same thing?
Absolutely, he has. I mean, he's working to earn a spot on our football team.
We talked to a couple tight ends today, and they all both stressed how your preference for a lot of tight ends and what you're doing. With that in mind, it looks like Connor Hamlet's had a good 2 weeks. I don't know. Can you say anything about
No, he's obviously he's made some plays. He's made some plays catching the ball, and he's very accountable, knows what to do. I also think that he knows he needs to continue to get better. You know, again, he's a big, tall guy, so he's got to block some of these strong, smaller guys at times, and so that's something, an area he got to continue to get better at. He's working at it, and I give him a lot of credit for his tenacity and how he stays after it. So he's got a chance, But again, we need to see a lot of these things show up versus an opponent as we move forward.
How much ground has Seth Duvall had to make up, and what do you think of him coming back as an incursion?
Oh, I mean, if he's healthy, he's a tremendous athlete. So he has a chance. I mean, just like anybody else. But I think he'll hopefully get back out here pretty soon so that we can evaluate him. We haven't seen much of him, and he needs to be out there with his teammates practicing.
Was he able to do anything at all today or not?
No, he ran around a little bit today. Yeah, no, he did. And we'll continue to increase that, as we go.
About two more?
Even though you've said you haven't decided it, I'll ask you this. Are you tempted at all to give Robert more time? I mean, traditionally he'll get a quarter.
Yeah,
give maybe a half.
I'm not tempted to do anything yet because I haven't thought about it. So I'm just going to take my time. I mean, we don't play till Friday, right? Okay, I got to remember what day it is today. So, no, we don't play till Friday, so I don't think, I'm not in a rush for that. I'm more in a rush of making sure our players are still practicing hard and doing what we need to do and learning how to practice, because we have to learn how to practice against each other, take care of each other, and do things the right way. This is a little bit different phase of training camp because now we're about to play an opponent. So that's a little bit different as you move through that. So practices change a little bit, just some other things that we try to get accomplished, and I think that's what's important.
How eager are you to see RG3 for the first time against a live rush and being able to get hit?
Very, and I'm really eager to see our whole football team, against a different opponent. But obviously, watch our quarterback, under duress, when it's tough, when the other team is really coming after you. But also our offensive line, our defensive line, and our secondary, and our linebackers. I'm going to be very, very into watching our football team play, and I'm probably going to have to catch myself because I have so many responsibilities as we go through this. But I'm very excited about our guys going out and competing against somebody else for a change.
This is Jordan Poyer's kind of first opportunity to be a starter from, day one. What have you noticed out of him or seen out of him so far?
I think he's earned the right to do that. I mean, he's a returning player, and he's had some good moments here. But the consistency, of every guy back there needs to improve. And I've told him all that. I mean, our goal is to try to make sure nobody catches the ball, and so that's his job. He's the center fielder back there. So if the ball's thrown down the middle, he's got to be back there to make a play, and it's got to make great tackles. That's what we're asking everybody on defense to do. So we have an expectation, and we got to get our guys up to that level. Not that they're not, but again, we've done certain things out here in practice, but we'll find out a little bit more about our guys come Friday.